Hey, Rhonda here. Welcome into my coaching session for you on how to deal with that intense stress that happens throughout the day because our schedules are so full. And we're not going directly in and saying you have to do this and that to be able to organize your day. I went in at a different angle in the way that I know really works for the clients that I've worked with, in stepping that question aside in how do you take care of this stress and what do you need to do, but coming in at a different angle and seeing it the way of how are you going to rejuvenate, give back to yourself so you can handle all the giving that you're giving throughout the day and all the stress that really impacts your mood, your emotions, and your weight, everything around you. 2 days ago when I released this video, I also gave you a workbook that was 15 pages big, and it was robust. It was a writing that took me quite a bit of time. When I started putting this together, I was going to give like a nice little quick snapshot. And then I started writing and I got very excited and motivated to do this book because I know that 90% of my clients are feeling like this, that they just feel overwhelmed and how the heck to get a handle on this. So just so you know, you are my inspiration if you're listening to this, because I learned so much from the social media and how people are interacting and telling me what they're dealing with, to actual clients of mine, to people that are in my newsletter. So everybody that's in here, welcome, and I really appreciate you being here. The two areas that I really want to focus in on is, first, make sure that you download your workbook. Today's workbook is a little bit different than yesterday's, and I'll tell you why as we go through our journey at the end of this video. So the two areas that I want to focus in on is understand how stress impacts your metabolism. This is vital. Sometimes we don't know how much our stress really fights us on the opposite side of us trying to become slim and feel good in our body. The second thing is simple ways to give back to yourself so that you can diffuse your daily chaos. Diffuse it. And it's going to be with us giving back to the body. So how are we going to do that? Let's just think about this. The stat that really came up to me that I wanted to share with you is chronic stress has shown to have a number of negative health impacts, from lack of weight loss and not to mention impairing the immune system. Much, much more, but just a couple, because we really focus in on how we feel bloated, our midsection where we really want to have a flat belly. So let's just kind of keep that focus that we're trying to get it down to that we want to feel healthy. We're not going to get sick very easily because we're going to really take care of this today. So I welcome you in. These areas of, I'm going to give you 4 facts so that you know how stress impacts your metabolism. The more that you know, the more you will just be aware of how to handle this stuff. Did you know that your digestion actually shuts down? So the body shifts into survival mode under stress, and your digestive tract just halts. Because if you are feeling like you are go, 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 then your whole system is just going to bunge up. And that can also happen with if you're having dealings with constipation, because your whole system shuts down. Everything sits in there. The calories just keep getting soaked up through the digestive tract, and it doesn't go through like it normally would. So you're absorbing everything. Things become toxic. This means that where there is a shortage of the necessary enzymes, bacteria, and acids required for the proper digestion, absorption, and metabolism, it gets affected. So I talk a little bit about this in different videos, but your enzymes really help you digest. It kind of breaks things down. Bacteria, you have your good bacteria and your bad bacteria. The bad bacteria is just always there, and it kind of just balances itself. With the stress, that good bacteria starts getting shut down, where the bad bacteria starts taking over, and you can have other issues that happen. And then you need the acids. You know, your stomach is high in acidity, and that has to be highly acidic. So if you are dealing with the flux of acid coming into your throat, did you know that your balance is actually low? Instead of being highly acidic in your stomach, you're actually not having enough acidity in there, and it has to do with the balance and the stress. Did you ever realize that you cannot lose weight? I have clients that will lose weight and they'll still be stressed, but it's hard to maintain even if they're eating the right stuff. So The stress response basically unregulates the nervous system and increases the stress hormone, which is the cortisol. So the nervous system will tell the hormones to do this and that to release, digest, to release the saliva, so then you can, break down the fluids and also the meats and the carbohydrates and everything that you're eating. And there's this whole process that happens that has to happen with your digestion. And if it doesn't happen, it's going to inhibit the weight loss. So your belly fat actually increases, and you could have had a diet that you were having regular, everything that you ate a month ago, you're still eating, but you've gained more weight. It has to do with your stress. So it literally hijacks your brain, because your brain has to control all this. And then if it's not there, then there's just, your system goes awry. Fact 3, you lose your nutrients. Again, we were talking about how you will, food will go into your digestion, but it will not really digest everything, because not everything chemically is working right. So it kind of hijacks that system also. But also with the stress, sometimes we binge eat. So there's a lot of stuff with cravings that happen too. And sometimes just because we want nourishment. The body becomes inflamed. Fact 4, when your body becomes inflamed, it's because you're sitting in with all the food you've been eating. It's hard for it to pass through. There's things that are not working. You are dealing with, higher inflammation, cholesterol, glucose, and triglycerides is also, when you're eating a lot of sugar, that cholesterol will go up because the sugar turns into triglycerides, which is another name for your cholesterol. And so when you look at all 4 facts, this is the reason why you really want to step in and take action on it. In the workbook, you have coaching tip 1 and you have a coaching tip 2. This is the one that I wanted to start you off with before you get into your exercise. So we're going into the area of the exercises that I want to share with you, so that you can find simple ways to get back to yourself, so that you can defuse your daily chaos. So your coaching tip to start this off, there's 2 exercises. So in your workbook, you want to open it up, and you're going to find that challenge yourself with a new concept below, which is going to be the exercise I'm going to show you, and exercise your mind to strengthen the muscle of calmness within the brain. Only then will you find yourself making new daily choices and decisions based on your mind feeling centered. Even in the highest anxiety time, you are able to bring back the calmness that you felt the last time that you gave back to yourself. And so the giving back to yourself, I'm going to tell you that in a moment here, so we can focus in, and don't worry about your schedule yet or what it looks like, because I'm going to tell you, you can do this at any point in time of the day that you have space, and you can do it for as long as you have the space of time in there. So you do want to have your calendar in front of you. If it's on your computer, open it up. If it's on your phone, just open up to your calendar, and let's look in here. This is where you're going to find your highest impact by giving back to yourself, because you will find your center within the breathing or within the working out that you're going to be doing. And this is how we're going in at a different angle. And what I tell my clients, if they're meditating or leaving me through yoga and taking a step away from the studio or through Skype when they're with me, I really talk to them about how they're feeling at that point and bring that energy back when they are dealing with high stress. And the world is not perfect in the way we deal with things, but the more practice that you do, the better you will be able to keep your center. I know I'm a very different person than I was 5 years ago. And so it increases each time, and you always become into new awareness. It's incredible the way that it works. In your calendar, look at your 7 days, look at your 14 days, however you're going to put this out, because I have a date here that I want you to put the dates that you are going to be working out. Is it going to be 7 days in a row? And I just said working out, but let's actually take a step back. You're right. I want to look at this in the way of when you're looking at your space and time. Let me go into the next slide, and then we'll talk about this. What are the top 5 things that you like to do that's going to help you give back to your body. So what do you like to do? Do you like to, rest because you are a go, go, go kind of person? And so does that mean stretching? Or do you feel like your mind is sometimes hijacked and that you can't find the calmness? So is meditating going to be for you? Or is yoga going to be for you? Or is a jog or a run or a walk or jump roping? What's going to work for you? So make your 5 that you really want to give back to your body. As you're putting this down, be realistic. Like physically, are you ready to do the stuff that you're writing? Physically, does it make you feel like you have a reset every time that you do it? And if I shouldn't say every time, because sometimes we're not present while we're doing it. And that's one of the biggest things I put in this workbook is that you truly have to be present in the moment to be able to really get back to your body and feel that calmness and being able to spread that calmness through the day. I call it like a threading throughout your week, through your day, through your month, through your year. Through these 5 points of ways that you could give back to your body, circle the top 3 that sounds good right now. Sounds good right now. And that's going to help you because then you are starting to build the excitement and starting to imagine what this would be. How would you be able to put this all together? Make sure you pause if you're not ready to move on, but I'm going to go right into the area of how you are going to implement this. So a lot of the stuff that you may see on my website or how I speak, I always call it like the FIT process. This is part of the coaching that I do, and I always want you to be able to strategize in how your days are set up already and how you're going to implement something that's so basic. Remember, we're only going to take 2 minutes, 5 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. If you already spend an hour working out, maybe the reason why you don't feel like you're giving back to your body is because you may be talking with a girlfriend and really maybe talking about the bad stuff that's happening in life. So it would be that you'd want to really center yourself in talking about the good stuff that's happening for the day, maybe not talking a lot, maybe just really focusing in on how you're feeling as you're going through your process. But there's a mental shift that has to happen. So whatever you're going to choose, your top 3 that we just did, think about how much time you're going to allot for this part of your journey. If you're going to be starting right away, you want to put it in the day that you're listening to this video and then map it out. So your calendar, you want to make sure you have it updated so you can really get in there and add your 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 hour, however you want to work that. But you want to implement it with your current schedule. Now I want you to really visualize how you can make it happen. How are you going to make this happen? How are you going to be enthused after you leave me today, even though you may be excited now? How are you going to get it into your schedule so that you can see it and go, I got it, no problem? How are you going to do that? Give yourself that space in your calendar where you're saying, this is the date I'm going to be doing it, this is the time. And I only want you to look at this truly as a 1-week plan. But if you're going to be doing like every other day or something like that, you can open up to 14 days. But my journey for you is specific to you feeling like within 7 days, a reset. And relative to the way you're feeling today, that you feel like a superstar. Superstar is that you're on top of the world. You're able to expand your mind from just reality, because sometimes reality, when we see all the bad stuff that happens in the world and we have stressors in our life, that we get so focused on the stuff that's not working that we need to suspend outside of that and be able to focus on the good. Focus on the good is going to get us so we have a good life. And it's a choice, and it's very difficult because we've been raised to, talk about, things that, not raised, but are just our society, because the news is real negative. People get really excited, and when something bad is happening, they want to, like look at it when they're driving down the freeway. If there's an accident, there's just things, the way that the fight or flight system that we have in our body from long, long time ago is still set up that way. So we always look for the excitement. Well, today I want you to think about the excitement of your journey and what's going to happen for you. So your coaching tip is hang your schedule up for your on your computer, your desk, your wall, wherever you are that you're going to be seeing it. Because, you know, a lot of people that I work with too, they would say like they have ADD or ADHD or whatever you want to call it, that they really have a hard time focusing. So I'm talking to you also, is that the more that you can see something in your face, the more it's going to remind you, redirect you. And sometimes we get that kind of symptoms when we are having a big chaotic day. I have it, and I have to always remind myself, shift back and balance. But you'll be amazed in your return of energy and learning how to give back to yourself consistently. Give me 7 days. Give your body 7 days. My expectation is probably the same as yours. Is get close to the end of the workbook here. But guess what? I want you to practice this 7 days, and I want you to be from a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being the worst, 10 being the best. I want you all the way to an 8. An 8. So that means your reality is that you know that life is stressful. You have maybe some hardships going on during that week, but you find your happiness, that happy factor, and you have to be fully committed. Fully committed. So here we go. This is what I want you to follow up on, and I want you to just take a deep inhale and exhale and just be ready for this. You're going to test your strategy for 7 days. Then you're going to reevaluate. Is your schedule working for you, or do you need to adjust? Now, this is the fit process. This is the way I do the coaching. Reevaluate. Did you set it in your schedule right? Is there certain times that you need to change? Maybe what you circled your top 3, maybe you want to adjust that. As you start getting into it, you realize it's not going to work. And then you want to, then you want to really step in there, add your new schedule, or keep to the consistent one. And then you're going to implement your plan based on your changes or your original plan. Give a big holler out to me on Facebook, which I was asking for from you, and tell me how vibrant you're feeling. You can click the link and it'll bring you into a special area into Facebook. Now, the thing that I added today is if you are enjoying this coaching, I'm going to keep on going with the information and just keep you centered. And as you're adding this, as you leave me today, I want you to click the picture within your workbook, which I added to your last page. So if you already downloaded the workbook on, let's see, the other day when I released, I want you to click down the link below on this video. If you're not there, make sure you click the link to get over where you can get the workbook, and there is where you're going to see the last page. Click on that link. It's a hyperlink, and it'll get you right in to having a Q&A call with me, 11 o'clock on the 25th, Tuesday. It's right before the holidays. You know that you need to be there. Click in there, sign up. If you are not going to be live, don't worry. If you're not going to be live, don't worry. Sign up, and that video will be directly sent to you once we finish the Q&A. So that's it. We're going to keep on working through this workbook. We're going to keep it reevaluating it. We're getting closer to the holidays, and that's what it's all about. I'm spending my time focusing in on the stress because we're going right into the holidays. So you have a fit day. Keep your process going. If you have any questions, you get a holler out to me on that link I was telling you from before here, and talking to me about, let's go right back here. On this link right here, I want you to click that right there. Okay, you have a fit day. Catch up with you on Tuesday if you're going to be in there live.